Peace family. So I'm back with another one. So today what I wanted to do was I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about understanding your purpose. We all do not have these magical, great, magnificent purposes, you know what I'm saying? And I think the more we get a better grasp of that and understanding, it'll help us along our journey and process everything that we have going on now, you know what I'm saying? I was talking with somebody yesterday, and they have access to a great leader, but they still have the same concept of, I need to figure out what my purpose is. I need to figure out what I'm doing. Well, for one, understanding these things, you have to know what male natural role is and what female natural role is. You have to have a starting point. Stop starting where everybody else is starting at. You know, like the world wouldn't operate the way it operated if everybody had these grand purposes. You know, everybody doesn't have a grand purpose. Now, why I know a reason why we don't feel connected and why we feel like we need a purpose, and you know, that's solely because our households is broken. We don't even have a place to call home. You know, your community used to be where you called home, but now wherever your four walls is at, or really wherever you feel at peace at, you call it home. Like you could be outside just walking, like, damn, I feel home here more than I do inside my house. That's because we're at war. That's because we at war. So a lot of people want to do basic things, but they feel like they have to do something grand or extravagant or to infinity and beyond. And it's like, to be honest, like, it's two different perspectives. Males, we have one completely different approach as far as what we're supposed to be doing right now, and as far as like how we're supposed to be providing and protecting, you know? And as far as females, their concept is completely different from ours. Completely different from ours. So it would be hard to say, okay, well, this female, she needs to get on her purpose and she needs to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, when in all actuality, the male is the provider and the protector. You know, the male carries the big brute of everything. So it's like, as a male and you on your purpose, you shouldn't be chasing nothing. You shouldn't be chasing shit, not one piece of female. Because the females that's gonna fall in place that's healthy are gonna be feminine female that knows their role. It's not gonna be a combative fight in between there. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the females on the other end of the spectrum who, you know, it seemed like the easiest thing right now for females to do, and I'm just going based off of the information I see in my experience, it seemed like the easiest things for women to do, females in this journey right now, what they seem to do is fucking tarot reading cards and jewelry making. These are the two main things that females do when they're in the Western world and they're growing and ascending. Now you do have some that does other things like make soap, that paints, that like just, I could name numerous of other things, but I'm naming the majority. The majority of tarot readers you're gonna find are gonna be females. The majority of jewelry makers you're gonna find are gonna be females, you know? So, and when I was talking to this other person and they was like, oh, I just don't know what my purpose is and blah, 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 and all this other that. And I just kept thinking to myself, first of all, you don't even know how to be a female. Like, you have to know how to walk in your divine feminine energy. And even if the shit ain't divine, you need to walk in your best female energy that you possibly can project. You need to know what it is to mean to be a female, not just, oh, I'm born a female, I know what it is. No, you don't. That's why you have no structure. If you knew, you would have structure. It's an easy process. It's not easy as far as when it comes to picking things out here, because you got a lot of witchy ass males out here, you know, to go along with that shit as well too, you know. But when I was talking to him, I just realized, like, they make jewelry, you know, and they have a great leader that they have access to, but they still feel like they need something more grander than what they are doing. I understand that this being that I was using as an example has a whole nother entity connected to them, you know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of people out here that, you know, that is in between the middle of that phase right there, meaning that it's a bunch that got another entity with them, but then there's others that don't have that entity with them, but still in that crossfire phase, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing more. Well, for one, you don't really have a home or belong to a tribe, you know, or a community. All of these things give us meaningful purpose. That's why it still feels weird when you're out here on your purpose and you're grinding, you're doing shit solely and isolated. Like, we built on relationships. So trying to get to a space to where you're uncomfortable, where you're comfortable with not being around beings and people and, you know, making it okay. It's cool because it's wartime, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna knock it. It's definitely wartime. So however you figure out a way to manage your energy best, you know, to keep you alert and ready at all times during this wartime, then yeah. But as far as like thinking that we all have to do something extravagant, no. You just have to look at the facts and you have to look at the reality, and then you have to check your belief system. You have to check your belief system. You know what I'm saying? So for men and males, our process doesn't change. You know, it's just whether you are flowing with the natural flow of life or if you're going against it. The way society is set up, in the Western world, males' roles doesn't change. It's just the inside you need to fucking work on. Your inside is disgusting. Like, there's no reason why you should still be buying Jordans or wearing Jordans. Like, it's just so mind-blowing to me how, like, every time I see somebody with a Jordan on, it lowers their IQ and their frequency to me to about 100 what is it, fucking 100 hertz lower than where it could have been at. Like, you come up to me and you talking knowledgeable, but then I look at your feet and you got Jordans on. I would much rather see flip-flops. To be honest with you, I would much rather see flip-flops. Jordan has his own spell that comes with it. You needing a double G belt so you can sag your pants is fucking weird. Nigga, that's weird. Nigga, that's weird. That is weird. Like, it's weird seeing like how comfortable males be with so much of their ass hanging out around other males. Even when I was younger and I used to sag, I never let my pants sag that low, ever. You get just enough a little bit below the waistline. That's it. That's it. You get like that much boxer showing. These niggas got like this much shit hanging out and the clothes is way smaller, fitted tighter. It's crazy because growing up we used to make fun of the Marlboro commercials, the cigarette commercials, with the Marlboro man come on with his tight ass jeans on and his boots and shit, and we like, damn, that nigga nuts cannot breathe. You right. We were right. They cannot breathe. So you also have to realize, with you trying to make fashion statements as a male, you shrinking up your whole goddamn sacral down there. You know what I'm saying? You suffocating all your shit. You're literally putting it in a pocket and squeezing it as tight as you can. For one, we wearing boxers, and then for two, you got pants on that's fitted. I don't even know why we wear underclothes, to be honest with you. I've been, like, between the past year or two, I've been removing underclothes. I just, for me, following the natural flow, it has to make sense naturally to wear it. And some of the shit that we already have to wear feels uncomfortable, but I know everything is sexualized, so we have to find a starting point from somewhere, you know. Yes, it would be nice to be able to, all of us to just be able to not have our clothes, or to do clothes when we would like to and not be forced or mandatory, and it not be such a weird process. But we have to create the shift somewhere. So have start here, so we will dress ourselves, you know. Not saying like, you just have to be appropriate, all right? I'm not going to get into all of that shit right now, you know. Just because I want to focus on the topic at hand, and as far as like understanding like our purpose. When I come out and I see the geese living, you know, they vibe together. They all vibing together. They all eating together. They all flying together. They looking out for each other, one another. You know what I'm saying? And then the Matrix is programming everybody to do the opposite of what natural nature is doing and saying. So then you're trying to find yourself in a place to be okay with, like, all right, well, how do I not get in trouble with the Matrix, but how do I be a good intention person? You know what I'm saying? Stop trying to meet in the middle with everything and everybody and everywhere and every place and every situation. Everything is not compromisable. So, if it pulls you off your natural flow, just be understanding of how much you're compromising with that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody doesn't have a huge purpose. A lot of our huge purposes is just to be connected to a community or a tribe and just feel relevant, to feel wanted, to feel needed, you know, to feel valued. It doesn't have to be, oh, this motherfucker gotta go out and drive millions of miles. No, it could be this. She just had to go fucking 15 yards to help the neighbor's child or some shit like that. It's just the fact of being wanted and being needed, and society makes everybody feel like you ain't shit, you ain't wanted, you ain't needed, and you can be replaced, like how you do when you go into the workforce. It's like you try to show the job you got value and that you respect yourself, but then they show you that shit don't mean nothing here. You put respect on yourself and I will replace you. You don't come into this job, this plantation, I will replace you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody isn't replaceable, and even if you are replaceable to a certain situation, that means you just wasn't built for that team. That team wasn't ready for a player like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I always emphasize, like, just trying to get back to to the natural flow of things, not to your natural flow, because most of us don't even know what the fuck your natural flow is, because you've been brainwashed so much by, you know, the ones in your household and the ones in the school and the ones around you that's raising us. You know what I'm saying? We're getting raised by a community and by a society that don't fucking want us, you know? They don't fucking care about us. And a lot of us just want to be valued. Like, god damn, like, just show a nigga I got some value. Show a nigga you see me, you know? Hey, I see you, I acknowledge you. When I'm in New York City, I hate being in New York, because every time I stayed in the Bronx when I was out there, but I would work in Manhattan, so I would travel down, take the hour bus ride down to the city. When you in New York City, the boroughs are not considered the city, okay? It's only Manhattan that's considered the city when you in the boroughs. But I would take that hike down there, you know what I'm saying? And it's all these people on the train, all these people once you get down the 41st and the 40th Street, you know what I'm saying? Like, towards the Times Square area, and it's just like, don't nobody give a fuck about nobody. It's weird, because as soon as I get off the train, it's like I have to make sure I only walk with one earbud. You never walk around with two earbuds in. Never, ever, okay? You never fucking do it. Don't drive around with two earbuds, and you always only keep one in, because you have to be aware of your surroundings at all times. Never wear two at the same time. But for me, when I would get off the train, it was like, when you're in the city, you always keep a backpack with you or something with you, because you know the way the travels is like, once you leave your space, you gone, motherfucker. It might be a minute before you get back. So I would literally have to I would grab my straps on my backpack, and I would put my head down just like this, and I would just walk, and I would hold myself as tight as I possibly could, because nobody is going to move out your way. Not even the smallest female, to the most handicapped person, and to the most healthiest person. Like, none of them are going to move. And the entitlement with those beings out there, like, like, when I get to the city and I have to go through that shit, I don't give a fuck if you're an old white woman, a young black lady, a Middle Eastern woman. All the motherfuckers is entitled. So if they don't get out my way, they're going to get hit with a shoulder. I have no regards for female energy when I'm out there in that city, not moving around like that. And if anybody been out in the city, in those areas, you already know. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. The energy base is set. It's called disgusting and witchy, and most of the motherfuckers is on it. So it's just more so about getting back and understanding, like, what the fuck we supposed to be doing? And I think that's where we at now. Is everybody like, oh, what the fuck am I supposed to be doing? Oh, what the fuck am I supposed to be doing? Like, we don't have, like, for me, I'm a male, right? So I'm supposed to be providing, protecting. I'm supposed to be doing the to infinity and beyond things. And that's because, one, I'm naturally built this way because I'm a male. And for two, because spiritually, I'm fucking built this way. This is how I operate. So for me, it's like, this is normal. Once I had started getting into this place, and it was like, okay, well, as you growing up, you just think, oh, it's just, you get money, and you pay for this, or girls only gonna want you for your money, and you do this, so you kind of stay out of this space instead of understanding, okay, you have to be providing, meaning that you have to have everything taken care of, even if it's not all the way organized, because men are not the most organized creatures. We are not the most organized creatures. You do have men who are organized. I'm organized on a percentage scale. But as far as like consistent organization, like, that's not our highest areas. You know what I'm saying? We'd rather go get the shit done and then let someone else organize it. Like, we're built for it. We have the bodies and the brute force and strength to do it. So we should be able to. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, everybody doesn't have some grand journey that they're supposed to be on. If you feel like you got a grand journey, your grand journey is to be in your feminine and to be part of a tribe, you know, to be wanted, to be valued, to be needed, you know, to be a part of something that's bigger than you, but you also can experience it now in the 3D realm. Same thing with the males, you know what I'm saying? If you're in a beta male position, or if you're a witchy motherfucker, like the betas, you gotta tighten the fuck up. You know, you gotta find the alphas, you gotta figure out what the fuck it is you're supposed to be doing, your weak links, your weak points, and you get on top of that shit. You know, for us men, you cannot waste time because we have to build. Women, they're already born with a high percentage of their value. The rest of the substance, you know, it's like, it was, somebody made a great bag of chips, but we have to place the chips in the bag. You know what I'm saying? So they already have theirs, you know? They already have theirs. They just have to have the substance, and it has to fit that being that they went. And when you're a female and you dealing with somebody, you don't take attributes and shit that you met and was doing with another nigga to that nigga. No, you grow and learn this man. That's what the fuck you're supposed to do. You grow and learn this man, because if it wasn't all this trauma bonding in between, you wouldn't have had 1,000 dicks in between to figure out, okay, well, I like to do this for men and I don't like to do that for men. No, you would figure out your fucking man, what works, what he likes, what he doesn't like, where he's great at, where he's not great at, and you fill in all those motherfucking areas. It's a very simple process, but we have so much shit that's got everything misconstrued that it's hard to even get back to ground zero. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't want to run it up too long. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know the vibes. This is what we constantly doing. We're going to constantly be out. We're going to be constantly be at it and getting to it. You know what I'm saying? And everyone does not have a grand journey where it requires them to move mountains. Some people just got to pick up a couple pebbles and stones, and that's all they had to do. That was their job. That was their job. That shit was just as important as moving these motherfucking mountains. You know what I'm saying? Don't let these witchy witch motherfuckers and people who ain't doing shit tell you that, oh, well, this piece of grass right here doesn't mean anything. Like, I got the fucking geese eating every piece of this shit. Like, this is their food. They live, lay, eat, and shit in this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what they do. But I ain't gonna run up too long, you know what I'm saying? Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.